Today's date is 5 June 2022. I am Dennis Gill with the Americans in Wartime Experience, and we are in Reading, Pennsylvania, talking with George Lambert.
Right.
Thank you, sir, for sitting down and talking to us.
Good. Glad to do it.
Yeah. If you could just give us a little bit of background. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Well, I was born in Philadelphia.
Okay. Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, yeah. Uh-huh.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived in Philadelphia, West Philadelphia, until I went in the service.
Okay.
That was in September 1942.
Okay. What branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Army Engineers.
Okay.
We were construction engineers.
Gotcha.
Doing building roads and bridges,
Okay.
warehouses.
Yeah.
We didn't see any combat at all.
Right. Tell us real bit. Let's rewind just a little bit to
Sure.
December 7th, 1941. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Do you remember that day?
Oh no, I don't. I remember that day. Yeah, I remember Roosevelt on the radio, but I don't remember what I was doing or anything like that.
What did you think when you heard what he said?
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I don't know where I was. Some people remember.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah, but you do remember Roosevelt talking.
Oh, yeah, I remember Roosevelt, yeah. Remember him talking, sure.
Yeah.
That all the stuff on the radio.
Do you have any other members of your family that were military?
No, my father had to register for the draft same time I did.
Really?
Yeah, because I was 21 and he was 39.
Okay.
And he had to register. But then they changed it. It was, 37, I think it was, when they let him out. So he never had to go.
Right, but you did get drafted.
But I did get drafted, yep. My neighbors picked me. I think I still have that at home.
The draft notice?
The draft notice, yeah. Your neighbors have selected you. That's what it says.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, some neighbors.
Yeah. So where did you go to training? Basic training?
I did not have basic training.
No.
I didn't have any training at all.
How could that be?
We were shipped from Philadelphia. We went to Indian Town Gap.
Okay, up in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania, where we got all our equipment and stuff. Then we went to Camp Butner,
okay,
North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
And it was a new outfit that just started up. They were National Guards, engineers.
Okay.
And so all it was just a company, a basic company, no men's. And they had us all out there, and they asked us who wanted to be a truck driver, and guys would raise their hand. Okay. Who wants to be a cook? I raised my hand right away. I figured that was a good place to be.
Right.
And no, we never had any kind of basic training. Never had a rifle issued to me. Say, how can you be in the Army without a rifle? Well, took everybody. Everybody couldn't be in the infantry.
Right.
So I was a cook for the whole time I was in. They never sent us to cooking school. Just well, we had a a crew of mess sergeants and stuff like that
Right.
that were in the national, got all their training in the National Guards. But yeah, I remember in North Carolina, the mess hall, we had three wood burning stoves to cook on. That's how we cooked.
Right. Did you have experience as a cook?
No.
Do you know how to cook?
No, just at home. There was five of us kids at home, so we all did a lot of cooking.
Yes.
I was the oldest.
Did any of your other siblings get drafted? Or was it just you?
No, nobody ever got drafted.
Just you?
Just me.
Okay.
Oh, my brother was in the Air Force.
Okay.
He was he was a warrant officer.
During World War II?
During the war, yes.
Okay. So he served.
Yeah, he served.
Any of your other siblings?
Yeah, Russell served. He was in the 82nd Airborne. And Butch, he was a career in the Air Force. Yeah, he was in, 23 years.
Wow. In World War II as well?
No, I don't think he was. No, war was over.
Okay.
Yeah, the war was over when Russell and Butch were in.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, yeah, Butch stayed, I think, 24 years. Well, my son was in the Army Engineers. He was in 23 years. He was a career. But he wasn't drafted, no.
So you were drafted. You didn't have any basic training.
Nope.
No training as a cook.
Nope.
No training as a rifleman.
Nope. Never had to dig a foxhole.
Wow.
Never slept in a pup tent.
So where did they send you when you deployed? Where did they send you?
Okay, first I went from Indiantown Gap, San Francisco, got on this ship.
What ship did you get on? Just a military ship?
A military. Yeah, it was one of the presidential lines that was made into a troop ship.
Okay.
And we were 28 days. We landed in Brisbane, Australia. I don't know how long we stayed there. Then we got on the ship and went to Milne Bay, New Guinea. That's where we landed and stayed there.
So New Guinea.
In New Guinea.
Okay.
Then we went from Milne Bay, New Guinea to Hollandia. That was in Dutch New Guinea. And from Hollandia, we went to Tacloban, Luzon, the Philippine Islands. Then we went from there, we went to Manila.
Okay.
We stayed in Manila, I don't know how long. And then when the war was over, when they shipped us from Manila to Fukuoka, Japan. We went to Japan.
Okay.
As soon as the war was over.
What was New Guinea like?
It was more or less a jungle. It wasn't any cities. There might have been cities down. Port Moresby was a city, but where we were, there wasn't any city at all. It was just wilderness, where they built warehouses and bridges and roads. And
your job was to be a cook.
my job was all cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine that you were busy, right? You would think.
Well, the construction, they worked around the clock.
Okay.
So the mess hall was open all the time for different shifts that men worked.
Okay.
If they worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could get out of it, they got out of it.
Right. How many men did you have to cook for?
And the 339th Engineers, it was about 180 we had to cook for.
And that's the unit you were with?
That was the unit I was with
Okay.
in New Guinea and all. That was about 180 men there. The officers didn't eat with us.
They did not? Okay.
No, they had their own mess hall.
Okay. What kind of food did you have to cook?
There was no fresh stuff. There was fresh eggs and meat, fresh meat and eggs. All the rest was dehydrated vegetables, carrots,
Okay.
beans, rice, cabbage. No, we didn't have anything fresh at all.
Right.
And we never thought of it. No fresh fruit,
Yeah.
no fresh vegetables. But I think about it now, when you're going on 3 years with nothing fresh.
Right.
But then I was transferred to the 5201 Engineer Construction Brigade. That was only 88 enlisted men. 88 enlisted men, 21 officers, and a general.
And you had to cook for all of them.
We didn't cook for the officers. They had
They had their own.
They had Filipino cooks.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't eat with us. We had one Navy man that ate with us. His name was Viking. I don't know what he was doing with our outfit, but he ate with us all the time.
Yes. What kind of facilities did you have? Was it just a tent with some stoves?
At first, yeah, when we first got to places, then they built us a kitchen. We had three field stoves, gasoline stoves we cooked, and we had a big walk-in freezer to keep the meat and eggs. But wasn't bad. We had a lot of corned beef, canned corned beef. We used to get oleo and number 10 cans. And most of our supplies came from Australia.
Okay.
Because we were close to it. I remember we had eggs one time. I remember they were stamped. They came from Sweden.
Wow. Now you see a lot of these military shows, the guys all complain about the food. Anybody complaining about the food, or was it pretty good, considering?
I never had anybody complain.
Okay. So the food was pretty good, considering.
So I guess, well, they survived on it. Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Yeah.
But we used to, in New Guinea, we had groups that used to sit up all night and play cards.
Right.
And we used to sell them sandwiches. We made sandwiches and sold them to them. Yeah, we used to do that.
Wow.
And the generators went off at night, like about midnight.
Yeah.
And we had Coleman gasoline lanterns. And we used to rent them the lanterns so they could play cards all night.
Okay. So you never saw the enemy. You never had any contact with the enemy.
Never had any.
No.
Never saw any enemy at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they got me on my discharge was in the Battle of Manila. I never knew there was a battle going on. And then what else they got? Oh, Milne Bay, there was a battle. That was a big battle. But otherwise, your daily life went on. The worst part was just being away from home.
Yeah. Were you able to contact home at all?
Oh yeah,
and things like that.
Oh yeah, we had plenty of mail. No problems with mail.
Right.
No, we got mail almost every day.
Okay.
We had mail. And it'd send packages. They could send the size of a shoebox.
Right.
That was the size of the package they could send. And an uncle used to send me provolone cheese and salami. He was a principal of a school teacher down in South Philadelphia.
Okay.
So all the janitors and all were Italians that lived in South Philly. He used to send it packages.
Yeah. Did any of the guys in your unit, were they ever wounded or killed in action that you know of?
We had one fellow that was killed.
Okay.
We had outside the mess hall, they used to put up GI cans full of water for them to wash their mess kits after the meal.
Okay.
And they had was called an immersion heater that they put down in. It was run by kerosene. They put that down in the GI can of water and lit it, and that heated the water.
Okay.
Well, this one day it wouldn't light very well. Clyde Johnson was his name. And he was looking down in the smokestack coming up, dropped a match in and it lit. And the flames come up and burn his lungs out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was one of the original cadre men from Hickory, North Carolina. That was the only. We had another fellow that they sent to a demolition school, and he lost part of his hand defusing a bomb, practicing.
Right. Tell us about the story about the Japanese plane that crashed.
Oh, that was down in Milne Bay
Okay.
on the Stanley and Ellen Mountains, and they used to talk about the natives knew of an airplane that was crashed. So we took a hike up one day and had the natives go with us. The natives were very friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem with the natives. So they took us up in the mountains, and here was this airplane, Japanese airplane. And some of them, I don't know how many of us went, but some of the fellows took the propeller, and I took the rising sun off the wings, and I sent them home. My sons have them now.
So you the rising sun on the wing, you cut that out?
Yeah, we cut the whole thing.
How did you cut it out?
Oh, I don't know what we used to cut it out, but
Okay.
something to cut it out.
You cut it out and you sent it home.
Uh-huh.
And
Sent
your
'em.
family still has that today.
They still have them.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But the natives down there, they were very friendly. We used to go fishing in the lake down there. We used to fish with dynamite.
Fish with dynamite?
Hey, you throw a stick of dynamite in the water and when it explodes, all the fish float to the surface. Yeah.
Did you cook the fish?
Oh, yeah, we ate them. Uh-huh. Then we had one of the other fellows, in fact, Clyde Johnson. He had a still up in the mountains. They used to go up and check his still. He drank all the profits.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd go for 2 or 3 days at a time. Nobody missed it. Somebody might have missed him, I don't know, but nobody said anything because he was gone. Even in North Carolina, someone would go home for 2 or 3 days. Yeah, they'd go into the pantry and take meat home and coffee and go home. They knew how to get through the fence and go home. They'd be gone a couple days at a time. Nobody missed them. As long as they got fed, they didn't care.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me backtrack. So there's a guy in your unit who had a still. It was illegal, I'm sure.
Oh, sure.
Had a still up in the mountains. He
Uh-huh.
would disappear for days at a time
Yep.
to go to the still.
Go to the
Would
still.
he sell the moonshine?
Oh, yeah, he sold. Yeah, what he brought back, he'd sell. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he'd sell it. Because they'd make moonshine out of anything. Potato parings or anything at all.
Yeah.
You can make liquor out of it. Yeah, he had it still. But yeah, they built roads, bridges, warehouses. I had one fellow one time, though, they were building a dock, and he was sitting on it. The board was too long, so he was sitting on it to cut it off. Well, he cut it off, but he was sitting out over the water when he cut it. He was sitting on a piece that fell off down in the water. So one time a guy lost his Jeep in the ocean. You figure, how do you lose a Jeep in the ocean? Well, for some reason he got out of his vehicle and it rolled down into the ocean and kept on going.
Didn't put it in park, I guess.
Didn't put it in park. Another one, they were unloading a ship, heavy equipment. They put it on a barge, and that was the only thing on the barge, and he put it on the edge of the barge, and the barge tipped over. Down it went into the water. Yeah. All kinds of crazy things.
What is this thing you most remember about your time overseas? Anything that stands out more than another?
I guess, we went to Nagasaki.
Okay.
When we went from up to Fukuoka. We were on an LST. And we stopped at Nagasaki. And they got a truck off the LST and took us around sightseeing in Nagasaki. About a week or 2 weeks after the war, after the bomb was dropped. Yeah, I have pictures at home I took of Nagasaki.
What did you see when you were there? What was it like?
The only thing we're standing was the chimneys and the Japanese arches that you see. Otherwise, it was just rubble. Everything was rubble. A lot of people walking around.
Could you imagine one bomb could do that to
Oh.
a city? Back then, that was kind of unimaginable, I would think.
Oh, yeah. Who would think of the destruction it could do? But the thing is, it's people are still feeling the effects of it. Must have been awful.
Yeah.
But they would have fought to the last man.
Something that had to be done.
It had to be done, yeah. Yeah, when we were in Japan, we had Japanese workforce. We had one girl, and she was there the whole war. She was born in the States. Her parents lived in California. And when they wanted to go back to the old country to die. And they went back, and then the war broke out, and she was stuck there the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was the attitude of the Japanese people towards the Americans?
Oh, we had a good time in Japan while we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had any trouble with them. I don't think anybody, because we had Japanese working for us.
Right.
So I don't think anybody ever had any problems with them. We used to go out in a Jeep and go out in the countryside and go into the stores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We never had any problem.
No incidents or anything where Japanese would turn on you or anything?
No,
We're all very friendly?
No, we never had problems.
Yeah.
No. It was all good.
Why were you in Japan? Were they rebuilding
Well,
stuff?
we were, our outfit, the 5201, had charge of all the engineering outfits that were going to go in Japan for the invasion of Japan. So when we were in Manila when the war was over, and so when the war was over, it was a lot of paper burning.
Right.
All the plans they had, and I really don't know what our outfit did in Japan. I guess that was all paperwork.
Paper burning?
Paper burning and sorting out what they needed,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because you figure how many organizations would have been in on the invasion of Japan.
Right. So the 5201 was supposed to be one of those units that was going to invade.
Oh yeah, we had charge of all the engineering units that were going to go in on the invasion.
And they were supposed to leave from the Philippines, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, Manila.
Yeah, and then they dropped the two bombs.
Then they dropped the bombs and it didn't need it anymore. Yeah, Manila was just the way you see pictures of it.
Yeah.
Of bombings.
How long were you in Japan?
Well, I guess we were there from probably September of 42 till December when we got home. I don't remember how long it took us to get home. We were just glad to get home.
You mean 45?
45, yeah. Yeah, come home.
Describe your homecoming. What was it like to finally be home? War was over.
The war was over. I don't know, we never had any, because I had a job right away. Or same job I had when I left. But no, there was nobody cheering for us. I can say that.
Right.
I mean, you see them down at the railroad station cheering. No, we didn't have nothing like that. I remember in San Francisco because you brought all your equipment home and
Right.
you were supposed to turn it in. And the guy said, "Where's your helmet?" "I don't have a helmet." "What happened to it?" "I threw it away." "Why carry it?"
Right.
Where's this? Where's your blankets?" "I didn't need it. Why carry it?"
Right.
So we didn't have much to turn. I do have my mess kit though.
Okay.
Yep, I still have my mess kit. Yeah, I carved my mess kit up the different places I'd been.
Okay.
So I still have the mess kit.
Did you ever keep in touch with any of the guys from any of the units you were in after the war?
I went to visit one fellow one time up in where did he live? He lived near Lebanon, Pennsylvania. And he wasn't home when I got there. Otherwise, I never kept in touch with any of them. No, none of them ever came.
Yeah.
Wish I had everybody. Well, everybody went their own way.
Yeah.
You had a lot to do. You were away for 3 years or more. So many of them had children to come home to. I had a wife to come home to. No kids.
So you were married the whole time?
I got married on January the 1st, 1943,
Okay.
in North Carolina.
So somebody you met down there?
Oh no, she was from Philadelphia.
Oh, she was. Okay.
Oh yeah, went with her for about a year and a half
Okay.
before we got married.
Now, how long were you married to her?
64 years.
64 years.
64 years.
Wow.
Yeah. 2007 she died.
So you were 101 earlier this year.
Yeah, February.
What's the secret to living that long? Everybody always asks that question.
Everybody asks me that. Who knows? Just live life as it goes on. Every day's a new day.
Yeah.
Especially now. Wake up. Do what the doctor tells you to do.
Yeah.
Live through open heart surgery. Yeah, I had open heart surgery when, how old was I? 91. I was the oldest patient he ever had.
In 1991.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking back on it, how do you think your wartime experience affected you?
I often think about that. If there hadn't been a war, what would I have done? Would I got married?
Right.
Would I had the same job? I often think about it. Because war affected everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was in the service.
Right.
But when I look on it now, I would like to have traveled. Because since Mabel died, I've gone down. My son took me down to Costa Rica in 2007. And I've been going down there every year since. And the people I've met, the places they've been, the jobs they've done. I met a lot of international school teachers that have been all over. I know one lady, in fact, on Facebook she's on, she lives up in Jersey now. She She taught English in Japan for about 10 years.
Okay.
And the volunteering you can do, and you can go worldwide and get paid for it.
Right.
Yeah, I know a girl down in Costa Rica now, Isa, and she just put on Facebook she's looking for an intern to take care of horses.
You know, World War II vets, they always say that they're part of the greatest generation. How does it make you feel to be labeled as one of the greatest generation? I mean, people just, you know, you come here and people want to meet you. People want to get your autograph and just shake your hand. How does that make you feel?
Oh, good. People recognize us. More things have happened since the Second World War, as far as inventions go,
Right.
than any other time. Who would have thought you could have a wrist phone or a computer, size of a pack of cigarettes?
Right.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
But then it's getting out of hand.
You're right.
When you think about this social media, as they call it. I do go on the computer once in a while. All I do is email and Skype. And I tell people, oh, I wouldn't have a computer. I says, yeah, but you got to have it just to talk to your grandkids and stuff like that. Even if that's all you do with it. It can get complicated.
Yeah. Someone might watch this interview in 50 or 100 years.
Oh my goodness.
What message would you like them what message would you like to send them?
Oh,
What would you like them to know about you?
Oh. What would you like? Well, live life as it goes. Just think of the other person, how it will affect them. Because everything you do affects somebody. You don't think about it when you do it. But I think of all the things that I did and the things I probably should have done and didn't do, and things I shouldn't have done. And I think everybody has things like that in their life, and you don't realize it until it's too late. But life goes on.
What kind of work did you do when you came home from the Army?
My grandfather and father were manufacturing chemists.
Okay.
My grandfather was a druggist, and he had a company that made the pills for homeopathic doctors. We used to go, you went to the doctor, he gave you a bottle of pills. Well, we made the pills.
Okay.
Yeah, doctors don't dispense their own medicine anymore.
Right.
Everything's from the drugstore. Yeah, my father used to make aspirin. We used to make aspirin. We used to make pink, blue, green, yellow. We used to make cough medicine. Now everything is prepared ahead of time. Everything has come a long way.
Yeah.
Medicine's is business now.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that I didn't ask you, or anything that comes to mind that you didn't mention?
No, I don't think so. We hit all about the food, the stoves, the cooks.
Yeah.
All on our. We only worked 8 hours a day. The cooks had three shifts. And when you weren't cooking it, your time was your own.
Right.
In the States, it was your own. Overseas, it was your own. Yeah, we used to have movies on, not every night, a couple nights a week maybe.
Movies that came over from the States?
No, in New Guinea we had movies. Yeah, we had movies in New Guinea.
Or were they American movies?
They were American movies. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, went down to Australia. We had R&R. One time we went down to Sydney, Australia. I think that was about 3 or 4 weeks we were down there.
Wow. Did you enjoy that time?
Oh, sure. I don't think it was really supposed to be that long. We just made it that long. We figured, what could they do to us? Couldn't fire us. No. Yeah, there was no special uniform or anything. I was put on, one time I was put on guard duty one time. I don't know where I was, but I came back to the tent, and they said, Lieutenant so-and-so wants to see you. So I went to see him. And the first thing he says, I remember, "You're out of uniform, soldier." I says, "Well, this is what I wear all the time." "Well, you're supposed to be in uniform. You don't wear shorts and sneaks." And he says, "Where's your sidearm?" I said, "I don't have a sidearm." "Well," he says, "you're sergeant of the guards tonight." I says, "I am?" "Yeah," he said, "it's posted on the board." I said, "I've never been sergeant of the guards." "Well, you are." So I went back to my tent. The next day he was transferred. They don't put mess sergeants on sergeant of the guards.
So you should have been there.
I should have been. I should have known.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never moved. Well, as I said, when we weren't working, you did as you pleased.
Right. And you didn't have a gun or anything?
Nope. Never fired a rifle.
So when you were on guard duty, you didn't have a gun?
Oh, no. I didn't know I was on guard duty. I didn't read the bulletin. I never read the bulletin.
So you weren't actually on guard duty, but you're supposed to be.
I was supposed to be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had to shoot it anyway, except pull the trigger. Yeah.
What did you do for recreation? You said you worked 8 hours and then the rest of the time was your own.
I
Aside from movies, what else did you do?
don't remember what all I did. I know I used to wash clothes to make extra money because we didn't have a laundry. We used to wash clothes. I don't remember what we did.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to have shows, and I guess we used to visit on the Liberty ships that used to dock. They used to come there.
What kind of stuff was there to do on the Liberty ship?
Oh, just talk to the guys because they got back and forth more than make a run probably from San Francisco to New Guinea.
Okay.
Maybe get some fresh vegetables or fresh fruit. That's about it. But yeah, we had cooks. They used to go out, and when the engineers were out building, we used to take lunches to them because they couldn't get in. Wouldn't come in for lunch.
Right. Well, I think we've covered quite a bit. And again, I want to thank you for sitting down and talking to us.
Oh, glad to do it.
And more importantly, on behalf of the Americans Wartime Experience, I want to thank you for your service.
Well, you're
Much
welcome.
appreciated.